What's up, family? Trail here, and will the Biden administration and Congress and lawmakers bring back monthly stimulus checks? Well, they have actually been trying to do this for quite some time now, and it looks like a new opportunity to do so is coming up very soon. As lawmakers continue to negotiate about raising the debt ceiling before the deadline, monthly stimulus checks could be a subject matter in the negotiations. I have important information surrounding this that I definitely want to share with you today. But before we get started, you already know what to do. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel as well as hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Now let's go ahead and start with the video. Guys, we are talking about the expanded child tax credit that has pretty much been a lifeline to millions of Americans. In fact, the expanded child tax credit payments have provided much needed financial support to a wide range of families across income levels, across race and ethnicity, as well as education levels. And for those of you that do not recall this, well, the child tax credit was pretty much giving American families, low-income families, between $3,000 and $3,600 per child for nearly all working families. And the good news is that these particular payments was actually automatically deposited into your account every single month for nearly all working families. To find out more information about this child tax credit, because there is an opportunity to introduce this once again. But anyways, guys, you can always go to the website childtaxcredit.gov. But anyways, guys, we do have some new census data or some old census data that pretty much talked about the expanded child tax credit, on how beneficial it was for the American people, for millions of low-income families. And this particular data says that it confirms that the expanded child tax credit cut child poverty by nearly half in 2021. And of course, guys, Congress lawmakers was unable to get this thing extended through the year of 2022. But hopefully, guys, this will come back sometime this year. And we have evidence that is pretty much showing us that the Biden administration, lawmakers, bipartisan support, they all have been trying to reintroduce the child tax credit for quite some time. We have the first instance right here, which talks about the Biden administration renews efforts to get the enhanced child tax credit to low-income families. This was back last year around May of 2022, in which the Biden administration was trying to use some particular efforts in that particular time to reintroduce it, to renew the efforts to get this thing back extended for the American people, because we all know how beneficial the extended child tax credit was to low-income families, as well as millions of Americans across the country. But then we also have some other efforts in which the White House, back in, I believe, was December the 12th of last year, they said that, look, let's go ahead and make a deal, guys. The White House is ready to bargain over the expanded child tax credit. And yes, guys, this was pretty much a last-minute push that would concede on a work requisite that was tied to expanding the child tax credit. And of course, the White House, the Biden administration, ended up failing that particular time as well. But it says that the White House has privately signaled to the Democrats that it would support a compromise deal to revive the expanded child tax credit, even if it includes work requirements that it once was opposed to. But anyways, guys, like I said, they were unable to. They ended up failing this particular round once again. And then we also had another opportunity, this time President Biden, back earlier this year, around February the 7th, you guys know what I'm talking about, during the State of the Union, where President Biden called for the restoring of the child tax credits. And guys, I actually have videos about this, because we know that the State of the Union was very long, but I went ahead and went directly to this particular section, and I want to go ahead and play it for you real quick. Check this out.
Afford to raise a family with sick days, paid family medical leave, affordable child care. That's going to enable millions of more people to go and stay at work. And let's restore the full child tax credit, which gave tens of millions of parents some breathing room and cut child poverty in half to the lowest level in history. And by the way, when we do all these things, we increase productivity, we increase economic growth. So let's finish the job. and give more families access to affordable quality housing.
He said, let's finish the job, finish what we started. We started the expanded of the child tax credit a couple of years ago, and we need to finish the job. Let's go ahead and make this additional money between $3,000 and $3,600 per child for these low income families, because as the data shows us, this pretty much prevented 30% of individuals in poverty and raised them back above. So anyways, guys, like I said, there have been some previous efforts in which the Biden administration, as well as the White House, as well as GOP, they have all been trying to discuss around the idea of bringing it back. And they have been using this as a negotiation tool. And like I told you earlier in this video, that because Congress lawmakers need to extend and increase the debt ceiling sometime this year before the deadline, which I believe is in June of this year, they might actually bring this back up once again, especially after President Biden mentioned this during the State of the Union. He said, let's finish the job. Let's go ahead and extend the child tax credit back to millions of low-income families. So yes, guys, this is another opportunity that the Democrats are going to be trying to do. Hopefully they can get a deal going on, because so many people benefited from this child tax credit, guys. Wouldn't you agree? These monthly stimulus checks that were coming every single month, and depending on how many dependents you had within your household, guys, a household of 3 could be an additional $9,000, which definitely changes the trajectory of how families were able to operate, putting food on the table, being able to pay for medications for your family and things like that. So again, they are trying to bring back the monthly stimulus checks in the form of a child tax credit. And also we have seen different states introduce the UBI, or the Universal Basic Income Program, which is also providing monthly stimulus checks as well. And then right here, guys, we have information that says a possible bipartisan compromise on the extended child tax credit. Now, again, this was back in October last year, but it does talk about the compromise between both parties bringing this back because of the huge benefit that it prevented so many children from being in poverty. So again, guys, we have more opportunities coming this year, and hopefully we will see this back on the table. It sounds like President Biden is already talking about the idea of bringing this back. He was telling everybody during the State of the Union on both sides of the aisle, on a bipartisan way, let's use this for negotiation. Let's go ahead and make a deal. Let's bring this back, because millions of Americans were able to benefit from these monthly stimulus checks. And then again, guys, I told you about the Universal Basic Income Program, or UBI, in which this particular data shows us that the United States, or the U.S., could help solve its poverty problem with a universal basic income. So far, guys, we have seen multiple pilot programs going on in different states in which they are providing $1,000 monthly checks, $2,000 monthly checks, whatever the case may be. They are providing these for at least 24 months to selected individuals to see if it helps those individuals out, because states, as well as on a federal level, they are trying to figure out if they need to introduce something like this to provide additional income to families across the country. They're trying to figure out whether or not this could actually help families, prevent them from being in poverty, as well as help them keep food on the table, as well as help them from going into the homeless state. So again, guys, it says right here that a universal basic income program wouldn't lead to adults leaving their jobs and could lift millions of children into a brighter future. So again, guys, these are just two options for bringing back monthly stimulus checks. And guys, we are very hopeful for the idea of bringing back the extended child tax credit, because that looks more promising than anything else. But like I said, in regards to the UBI program, those are just pilot programs in random cities as well as random states right now. They are trying to get the data from this to determine whether or not the federal level need to introduce more of a universal basic income program. But anyways, guys, hey, we are talking about the extension of the child tax credit, which is going to bring back between $3,000 and $3,600 per child in your household, which could help millions of low-income families. But anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today, and I hope all this information in this video was helpful to you today. Well, hey, that's all I have for you today, but feel free to check out some of the items down below. There are a few ways for you to be able to support this channel, as well as put some money in your pocket, as well as earn 12 free stocks from Webull, as well as how you can receive the Amazon Prime membership for free for 30 days. But if you are interested in any of those, hey, be sure to check out the links down below in the description. But anyways, hey, if you enjoyed today's content and you want to see more, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like today's video, then go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.